Yo, there he is, the champ.
Yo,
what's good?
What up, Pete? You wanted to see me, man?
Yeah, man. I wanted to talk to you about the off season. Since you got a lot of options, I wanted to pick your brain a little bit and see what you might be interested in getting into. Okay, great. So I know you got the whole training regimen in place, right? But not every day is spoken for. So the way I see it is you got 3 things that I think could help you up your game.
And those are?
FIBA qualifying, open runs with NBA guys, and even more focused training on your own. Okay, you want me to unpack that for you?
Yeah, but if you don't mind, keep it quick. You know what I mean? I got a date tonight.
Oh, okay, I see. Well,
yeah,
promise I'll keep this short and sweet, all right?
appreciate it.
So obviously, you've got an open invite to play for Team USA.
Yeah,
FIBA.
they made official once we won the U19.
Right. So this year is a qualifier. I mean, we're qualifying whether you're there or not, but this is a chance for you to rope in some bigger names for the FIBA games, which are coming up in 2027.
Yeah, how do you mean?
Well, you got pulled with Team USA. So if you say you want to invite Superstar X, they'll invite Superstar X, right? Then if you guys, play in the qualifier, have a good time, develop a relationship,
Right.
he'll be more likely to play with you when it really counts in the FIBA games, right? So, it's a long play, but it could be worth it depending on how much FIBA games mean to you.
Well, that makes sense. What are you thinking? How you thinking?
Well, I mean, you could also go the open run.
And how would that help me?
Well, more relationship building. Invite guys from the team to help strengthen the bond, or guys from around the league to maybe recruit down the line in free agency.
Shrewd. What's the third thing, man?
Well, the third thing is basically more of what you're already up to. Focus training, individual workouts, stuff that helps improve your game and skills.
What if I want to just chill on the few days that I don't have accounted for, man?
Hey, look, you can do that too. All right, this is your life, bro, and you know your body. So maybe you don't want to push yourself that hard, right? But if you do want to push yourself as hard as I think you can, one of these approaches could be really good for you.
I see.
Come on, man. So what you thinking?
In the off-season we go. We have 3 options for our off-season focus. The first one, which is going to be shown, is the FIBA qualifiers. And the second one is the open run recruitment, where you can invite 3 free agents, or you can invite a teammate to play a 2v2 game, which will improve team chemistry as a result. And the last one is the trainer scrimmages, where you go to Chris Brickley's gym or train with Lethal Shooter. And after that, we can skip to the end of the off season, head to the arena entrance. And I thought of choosing FIBA qualifiers just for the VC bonus, but the inner Filipino in me just didn't want to play for Team USA. It's just my inner dignity. I don't know why NBA 2K didn't have the option for us to choose which home country to represent for the FIBA qualifiers. And as a result, I chose open run recruitment for my off-season focus.
You know what? I want to go the open run route. It's not too hard on my body, but it can help keep me sharp. And relationships are everything in this league, so it feels like a good way to stay on top of that, you know what I mean?
No doubt. I'd do the same thing if I was you.
I appreciate you helping me out with this, P.
Come on, man. Don't even mention it. It's my job.
My man.
And now for my open run teammate, I chose Walker Kessler at the end of this clip as my teammate because we wanted to improve our relationship with each other. Even though when I played with him, he was one of my best teammates, even one of my best lob targets, because he's 7 feet and our most important rim protector. And for my 2 opponents, initially I wanted to choose Johnny Juzang and Micah Potter because at the time they were still in the real life Jazz roster, but they're not on the roster anymore. They're a free agent. The winner of this open run games are me and Walker Kessler, and that's mostly because our 2 opponents were low overalls. And based on these reactions, we all had fun in this game. Here's the off-season changes. We got Jimmy Butler from the Heat. We got the veteran leader for free in our title defense. The Kings tried to steal Lauri Markkanen from us, but we were able to keep him. That's a good thing. And I am still staying with New Balance as my shoe deal in year 2.
A new year means new goals.
Yep, fresh start. Anything's possible.
Indeed it is. So let's talk about the team's overall outlook, and then we can drill in to your personal goals for the first half of the season. Sound good?
Sounds great. Let's do it.
When you reach the mountaintop, your only job is to stay there.
Yes, sir.
Our goal this year is to repeat as champions. Anything less than that, and we have failed to live up to our potential.
No excuses. Just get the job done.
That's exactly right.
Right.
So we're all in agreement. Why don't we talk MP through his first half goals? Coach?
You know the drill by now. We show you a list of goals. You pick the one you want to focus on for the first half of the season.
Been looking forward to this all off season, Coach.
Take a look. Let me know what you think.
New season, new goals. I have different personal goals this time. The ones that are completed can still appear, but I'm not going to repeat the same ones. Choosing NBA Cup for my first personal goal for the season to improve the team chemistry rate on the court.
All right, look. I want to win the NBA Cup,
So do all the top contenders.
which is why we need to make it a priority. When we go into those playoffs, I want to have that psychological edge. And the NBA Cup gives us that.
Can't say I disagree. Solid choice, MP.
I'd love to see us working towards a common goal. Anything else you two would like to discuss?
Yeah, I'm good.
Looking forward to getting after it. This is going to be a great season, y'all.
And here is a brief look at our roster to start the season. We had a lot of overall changes. Keontae George and Walker Kessler are now an 85 overall. Taylor Hendricks is now an 83. Bryce Sensabus is 79. A lot of our players have made substantial improvements in the offseason, and it's a big one. And that's because of the first season goal that I did in the rookie year, which was part of the Rookie of the Year award. And here is our lineup for our first game of the season. Back to the 10-man rotation, and it can expand to potentially 11 players so that everybody will get a chance in the season to get some playing time. Also, an update on my hairstyle. New season, new look. I'm going for the buzz cut, and this will be my hairstyle for the rest of the season.
Fans, and now, the presentation of the award ceremony. Get loud for the NBA champions, your Utah Jazz. The head coach is Will Hardy. Isaiah Collier. Kyle Filipowski. Jordan Clarkson. Cody Williams. Bryce Sensabaugh. Taylor Hendricks. Keontae George. The NBA champions, your Utah Jazz.
Alright, you just got a glimpse of what the ring ceremony is like. Everybody who was on the roster last season, who is part of the roster this year, got their rings. Even the ones that didn't play, they deserve it because they were also part of the reason why we had the best record in the league last season. Also forgot to mention, John Collins is no longer with us. He got signed with the Sacramento Kings. But hey, we got Jimmy Butler. He's an upgrade, so it's not all bad. But I do miss alley-oop it to John Collins. He became my favorite alley-oop target all season long, and in 2K25 especially. He surpassed Bam Adebayo, who was my favorite alley-oop target last in 2K24 when I played with the Heat. In regards to the Heat, I reunited with Jimmy Butler. Like, I didn't even think that he would sign with the Jazz in my sophomore year, 2K25. Even in the game, he didn't want to play with the Heat anymore. Like, real life and 2K actually meshed well with each other in regards to free agency signings. Jimmy Butler was tired with Miami because he felt like the Heat were not prioritizing him enough. He wanted to contend, and he felt like the Heat had all the pieces needed to contend, but he just felt like Pat Riley did not take it seriously, so he wanted out. Warriors got him to where he wanted to be, even though initially he wanted to decline it. But in Golden State, a lot of good things happened when they traded for Jimmy Butler. Because last season, they were off to a great start, and then in December, they started falling off. And by January, they felt like they had enough with the initial roster. They had to trade some pieces. So they had to get rid of Andrew Wiggins, Kyle Anderson, just to get Jimmy Butler. And it was a multiple team trade as well. They got rid of Dennis Schroeder, Lindy Waters as well. And it all worked out. They got the 7th seed. They had to win a play-in game just to earn it. And it made them reach the second round. So all in all, it's not all bad. They could have been a lot better. Unfortunately though, they are having a lot of complications in regards to Jonathan Kuminga. And it's because he's a restricted free agent. It is unfortunately a terrible time to be a restricted free agent right now, as a lot of the players that are looking for a big contract, some other teams are not willing to offer them a contract, and it also includes the team that they're playing for. And it's not just Jonathan Kuminga that is suffering the same problems. There are 2 other notable restricted free agents that are currently not extended. Josh Giddey for the Bulls, and Cam Thomas, who I'm defending right now, for the Nets. And as he gets fouled right there by Kessler trying to block the shot. As far as details have shown so far, all 3 of them are seeking a contract that is worth $30 million per year. And it gained a lot of controversy from fans. They are questioning how valuable they really are. Like, they're actually questioning how good Jonathan Kuminga, Josh Giddey, Cam Thomas really are. Like, a lot of Warriors fans have been harassing Jonathan Kuminga for his entire tenure there. Some people are saying, JK is not playing team basketball. Well, in some cases it's true. He wants to play as the #1 option. But unfortunately for him, he won't be able to do that with Steph still in the roster. It has to be somewhere else. And honestly don't understand why Joe Lacob hasn't moved on from him a lot earlier while his value was still high. It pains me to say this, but I believed he was amongst the players that are up next for the Warriors when Steph retires, alongside Moses Moody, Jordan Poole, and James Wiseman. Unfortunately, they just didn't work out. Jordan Poole got traded to the Wizards. Wiseman's staying in the Pacers again, but he tore his Achilles last season, so I don't know how he's going to be able to play. Moses Moody, while he got the contract, he was able to play well, but sadly he struggled in the playoffs. Kuminga did a lot better in the second round, even though the Warriors lost in 5 games. But still, a lot of Warriors fans are wondering how valuable he really is. His athleticism and overall offensive game and IQ, is he really worth the $30 million that he wants to seek? We'll find out for sure, because Warriors didn't even extend him last season. If they did, they would not have been in this situation. On the Chicago side, there are a lot of fans outside of Bulls fans that are having a lot of questions about Josh Giddey's ability to play winning basketball, meaningful basketball, in other words, as in lead the team to a playoff appearance, play winning basketball overall, not just get good stats on a bad team kind of way. Because let's face it, when he got traded to the Thunder for Alex Caruso, this is what cost the Thunder to win a championship. It's amazing how a singular trade, it's a straight up trade as well, no draft picks included, literally straight up a one-on-one trade, a player for a player, no other assets. That's a straight up robbery for the Thunder, especially when you consider how many draft picks Sam Presti currently has. He has like what, 20 first round picks and around 30 second round picks. I'm exaggerating the numbers, but you get what I mean. Sam Presti is so good at draft assets that if something goes wrong for the Thunder in the future, he can just use a lot of them up, trade for a good player, and keep the Thunder competitive for a long time. And he was able to do this with the Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook teams in the past. He's doing the same thing with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, J-Dub, Chet. They have a dynasty in the making. But next season for the Thunder is going to be a much bigger test. Defending a title is much harder than winning one. Anyway, back to the Bulls. Josh Giddey actually had a great end to the regular season, beating the Bulls to the 9th seed yet again, because it was looking like the Bulls were on the verge of not making the play-in tournament. They had issues dealing with Zach LaVine, and when you consider that DeMar DeRozan got traded away from the Bulls before their season started last year, considering that DeRozan, in a similar veil to Jimmy Butler, felt like the Bulls weren't taking things seriously. And he's completely right. You gotta wonder what the thought process is for the Bulls these last few seasons. Trading away one of their best defenders in Caruso for a guy who is seen as an afterthought after the Thunder were eliminated 2 seasons ago by the Mavericks, and especially when Josh Giddey has been a complete zero factor. And it even reached a point where he got benched in Game 5 of that same series. And you know full well that Giddey doesn't want to have a role where he's going to come off the bench. And, you know, this is what shocked Sam Presti. This is what caused Presti to make that move, because Caruso is a willing bench player. He didn't start many games for the Thunder last year, even though he was one of their top 10 players of the roster, or I would say top 5, because he was arguably their third best player in the playoffs. Thunder would not have survived the NBA Finals without him. His 20 points in Game 2 and timely buckets in Game 4 that sealed the win for OKC. And as for Giddey, you just don't know what the future is going to be like for him, considering that the Bulls are also not willing to offer him the extension for a free agent. He wants that $30 million as well, and the Bulls are just outright refusing to make any offers as of the moment. And for a organization that has as many blunders as the Sacramento Kings, they're also called the Kings of the East by many fans due to these amount of incompetency that they have been doing, especially the past decade or so, especially after they got rid of Jimmy Butler. So many rebuilds have been ruined by the Bulls, and the fact that they did not give Giddey any offers for a contract, that's saying something about them. It is considered one of the best things they did. Doesn't mean Josh Giddey has no positives at all. He's a good playmaker. He can play fast. Every time he has the ball, he can push the pace whenever he wants to, so that the game can change. And he's excellent at inbound passes, to the point where they were calling him nicknames such as the Slob Wizard. He has a good touch on his floater, and his jump shot has been noticeably improved. Though as of yet, it is still not wholly reliable, as he can mostly shoot the wide open ones. But as far as the contested ones, they're still inconsistent. Even the wide open ones can be considered inconsistent at times, but still much better than the heavily contested ones. And the most glaring weakness that he has is on the defensive end. Every time they would put him on the defensive action, it's an easy score almost every single trip down the floor. And that's one of the reasons why the Bulls are still hesitant to give him the extension, all because of important fundamentals like defense. For as much offensive skills as one player can have, being a non-factor on defense can literally make them unplayable. Because when your offense comes and goes and you don't have anything to provide on the other end, you are in huge trouble. And this will bring me to the last notable free agent that people are talking about, and it's Cam Thomas, the guy who just drew the foul on Taylor Hendricks. And just like with Josh Giddey and Jonathan Kuminga, he feels like his value should be a lot higher than it should be. The contract the Nets are offering him, as far as we know as of the moment, is a 2-year worth $28 million in total. That is $14 million a year. And in my honest opinion, I feel like it's kind of lowballing Cam Thomas, because when we see him play, it feels like he should be getting a lot more minutes, even when it was in the past years before he started to get a lot more relevance with the Nets. And that was after Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant got traded. And even when they were still in the team back in 2022, he got a glimpse of what we would have seen him be like if he got a bigger role. He's a great shot creator. He can play off the ball in the catch and shoot situation. He's much better as a mid-range shooter than a three-point shooter, but his offensive game is very good. The problem with him though is that he's not a very good defender, and teams will be able to attack him almost every time they put him on a one-on-one situation, and that is because he is a small guard. He's like what, 6'3", 6'4", and his playmaking still needs work. And while his playmaking has been improving slowly every season, his assists have been going up. it still isn't to the par that is expected from a great number one option. And the thing is, he claims that he's one of the elite playmakers. But the eye test shows that it still needs a lot of work to get done. But he's getting there. The thing is, though, is that can he do all of these in a playoff setting? Because remember, he hasn't gotten many playoff minutes because when he was with the Nets, they did make the playoffs, but both times they got swept. That series against the Celtics in 2022, that was a rematch of the playoff series in 2021. It was shocking to me that the Nets got swept the way they did. I thought they were going to take at least one game from Boston because they had Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant. The fact that they could even take one game has been an outright embarrassment. And it caused the downfall of the Nets ever since then. And that's coming off a season where they were about to make a championship run. They got unlucky with the injuries, but they still made a lot of mistakes handling the Nets, quote-unquote big three with James Harden, Kyrie, and KD. And they are on the verge of another bad rebuild. I know everybody watched the NBA draft this year. I know you're excited to see Cooper Flag in action. I don't know how he's going to do with the Mavericks, but I just feel like he's going to be able to fit well. And I'm excited for Dylan Harper, another Filipino representative. Ang team na nag-draft sa kanya ay yung San Antonio Spurs. Medyo interesado ako kung paano siya mag-mesh well sa kanyang mga bagong teammates. Did a bit of Filipino just for that one. And he also has another teammate that is part of the same draft in Carter Bryant. I watched the Spurs a bit in the Summer League and I'm interested to see how Carter Bryant is going to be able to play. He's a good defender. Offense needs work, but he'll get there. He's going to have Mitch Johnson, a pop disciple, going to guide him. BJ Edgecombe is going to be a very interesting fit because the Sixers have another guard in development mode in Jared McCain. They also have Tyrese Maxey and Kyle Lowry still on the team. I was hoping that Kyle Lowry was going to take a step back and be a veteran leader just to guide the other young players because the Sixers didn't make the playoffs last year. They're kind of in development mode right now just so that they can keep everyone healthy, considering the injury history of Paul George and Joel Embiid. Have a lot of rookies to be rooting for, and VJ Edgecombe is going to be one of them. Next up is Concanopal, the number 4 pick by the Hornets. Honestly, the Hornets have been cooking lately. They really cooked in the draft. They made some good trades. Like they traded for Colin Sexton. At first, I was like, what are they doing? They traded for another guard. They need a center. They traded away Yusuf Nurkic. He's in the Jazz. And now the Jazz have too many centers. Because my concern for the Jazz right now is how is Kyle Filipowski going to develop? He just recently won the most valuable player of the Summer League. He was playing too good there. And the Jazz have a lot of issues with their rebuilding process. Because when you think about it, when they traded away Gobert and Mitchell, they initially had a great start. And then all of a sudden, a lot of bad decisions have been made. They kept holding on to some of their vets for too long. They just got rid of John Collins. He's in the Clippers now. But it was too little too late for the Jazz. The damage has already been done. Back to the Hornets though. Colin Sexton, he's going to be a very good ball handler off the bench. And the fact that they were able to keep Trey Mann, who has been playing very well even before the back injury. Hornets are getting a lot of ball handlers, and that's actually a good thing. You're going to be needing another player who can be able to dribble off the court when the main ball handler gets shut down. Because LaMelo Ball is going to be getting a lot of attention. And the fact that they chose Concanopo, who is much more of an off-ball player, they are making all the right choices. Back to the Jazz, they chose Ace Bailey for number 5. And the other draft pick is Walter Clayton. It's too bad Ace Bailey got injured during the Salt Lake Summer League, and we weren't able to watch him in the main Summer League. Because when I watched him, he was actually showing that he has the tools to be a good shot creator one day. He needs some work, and the controversy behind his preferred draft destination is funny, but at the end of the day, he's actually good to go for Salt Lake City. He's happy to be a Jazz. And as of Walter Clayton, they actually got the prospect that didn't play just 1 year of college. It's good to have players that stayed in college for more than a year. The problem is that they can peak very early, and they might end up not as impactful as one might think. Wizards got Trey Johnson, another good pick, and the Wizards have also been cooking in the offseason, though I'm surprised that they traded Jordan Poole to the Pelicans for CJ McCollum. They also decided to get rid of Marcus Smart. He's with the Lakers now, and now I'm eager to see how Alex Sarr and Bob Carrington are going to come off their rookie years. How are they going to fare in their sophomore season? I know a lot of improvements are going to be made. Alex Sarr on the offensive end, Bob Carrington on the defensive end. And they also got Bilal Coulibaly, who is a great wing player for them, a great wing defender in development. Wizards have a lot of good pieces now. They just have to be able to capitalize. Jeremiah Fears in the Pelicans, 0. That's his jersey number, and that's for 0 fears. He has no fear in his game, and the Summer League proved just how fearless he can be. The only thing I would hope for him to be able to do is stay healthy, because the Pelicans have a very bad medical staff. I might not be able to go through all of the picks in the draft, but I'm going to do the notable ones. And now for the Nets, a lot of people are saying they had a very bad draft. They drafted Igor Demin, Nolan Traore, Drake Powell, Ben Soroff, and Danny Wolf. And a lot of controversy has ranged from skill sets and fit to the team, and even their politics, surprisingly. Because the Nets drafted a Russian and 2 people that have affiliations with Israel. And with what Israel is doing right now, has gotten those 2 draft picks from there a lot of heat. And I don't know what their stance is currently, but this is not a good look for Brooklyn. And they have been having a lot of terrible decisions with who they're going to develop. And they're still having a hard time with what they're going to offer Cam Thomas, because he's a restricted free agent. Also have to conclude the restricted free agent thing. Here's what we can all learn. Not all of the draft picks that intrigue us are going to pan out the way we would like them to do. And it can be more apparent with how the team views them at the end of the day. So we just gotta temper expectations and have a more realistic view of what the players' potential is going to be like, so that we won't set ourselves up for disappointment. Raptors pick Colin Murray Boyles, a power forward. And Raptors have too many wings, and Scotty Barnes is technically a wing playing power forward. And if they're gonna do something about RJ Barrett, or how are they going to be able to integrate Brandon Ingram, this is going to do a lot for Colin Murray Boyles, as the Raptors are also in rebuilding mode. Among Malak, he was drafted by Houston. He was among the players traded to the Suns in that AD deal. And I'm going to talk about the Kevin Durant deal in a few minutes. But we'll get through some of the draft picks. Cedric Coward got traded to Memphis for Young Hansen, a small forward traded for a center. That's interesting. Young Hansen is going to be a great backup center for Klingon, and Coward is going to be interesting as the Grizzlies are dealing with Jalen Wells and Gigi Jackson right now, and they're both playing the wings. Who's going to be getting a lot of minutes for them? I just know Cedric Coward's going to be competing for them. Noah Nangsang for the Chicago Bulls, another French player. He is a power forward, and I think he's going to be the backup for Matas Buzelis. And I just hope he can pan out because the Bulls are also in mediocrity right now. Because they traded Lonzo Ball for Isaac Okoro. They didn't really trade away defense, but they lost ball handling. Derek Queen got picked by the Hawks. He's a center. He won't be able to get a lot of minutes because he's playing behind Okongwu. And they got Porzingis. They did get rid of Clint Capella, but I don't know how Quinn Snyder is going to be able to manage those kinds of minutes. Thunder picked Thomas Sorber, number 15. That's the pick that they got from the Heat when the Miami Heat won the play-in tournament. I'm surprised they picked him because they have a lot of centers. They just re-signed Jalen Williams. They still have Isaiah Hardenstein. Chet Holmgren had a big contract extension, which is going to take place next season. This is going to be very interesting. Joan Beringer is in the Minnesota Timberwolves, another French center, backing Rudy Gobert, another fellow Frenchman. We'll be expecting him to play a lot of G League because he won't be getting minutes over Nasri too. The Heat got another white boy. They got Kasparas Yakukionis from Lithuania. Their fascination with the white boys continues. Starting from Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, who is with the Pistons now. The trend keeps on continuing. Nick Clifford to the Kings. He was another draft pick for the Thunder that they decided to trade away. Kings got a good one, but I don't know how he's going to be able to pair with Zach LaVine still on the team. He's going to be getting a lot of shots. Jace Richardson, the son of Jason Richardson in the Magic. His father played for Orlando before, and I feel like Jace will be developing nicely too. Because the Orlando Magic need offense. Their offense the past 2 seasons especially have been underwhelming. Their 3-point percentage is so bad. They were dead last in the league in that category. Even carried over to the first round of the playoffs against the Celtics. They really need to do something about their offense, because their defense has been elite, to say the least. But in their offseason, it feels like they're putting it as a priority. They traded for Desmond Bane, got rid of Kentavious Caldwell-Pope and Cole Anthony. Cole Anthony's in the Bucks. KCP falling off shooting-wise has been especially surprising, because when you watched him with the Nuggets, he's been very good. He's been a big reason why the Nuggets won their first championship in franchise history back in 2023. To see him fall off this bad in 3-point shooting, it's a genuine shocker. So they decided to get rid of him, get Desmond Bane, who can not only shoot, but he can also handle the ball quite a bit, so that he can put a lot less pressure off of Paulo Banchero and Franz Wagner, and especially Jalen Suggs. Because when Franz and Banchero were out last season, Jalen Suggs was forced into the shot creator role, and while he did hold on his own, it's not something that I can see him doing long term. So that's a good fit, ideally. But with KCP, I'm kind of worried about Bane. but I just know he can mesh well with the Orlando Magic. Hugo Gonzalez, a Spaniard. He's going to the Celtics. He's a small forward. Celtics are going to be using next season as a gap year, considering Jason Tatum tore his Achilles. And since Hugo Gonzalez is a wing, he's going to be in development mode. I know the Celtics are going to develop him nicely. I trust the vision Brad Stevens have with him, because ever since Brad Stevens became the GM, he's been making a lot of great moves to keep the Celtics as contenders for a long time. But last year, that was the earliest they've been out of the playoffs. They got eliminated in the semis against the Knicks. So they got a lot of thinking to do. Also forgot to mention Liam McNeely. He's in the Hornets as well. He's teammates with Constantinople, a small forward. He'll be backing up Brandon Miller. And you just know there's going to be a lot of competition in terms of minutes. Who's going to be getting the bigger role? Who's going to be higher in the rotation? You're never going to know unless you watch the entire NBA season. And lastly, for the Clippers, they have Yannick Conan Niederhauser. That's another long name. He's a Swiss center. He'll be backing up Ivica Zubac and their newly signed center Brook Lopez. And with how injury prone the Clippers could be, especially considering that they're the oldest team in the NBA as of the moment in regards to roster age, he's going to be one of the youngsters that they're going to be needing at least in the middle of the season. Not sure if he's going to be able to get playoff minutes due to the amount of experienced players that they have. So it's going to be very interesting. Now for the free agency, I'm going to talk about some of the most shocking signings ever. The first one I'm going to mention is Miles Turner. Miles Turner signed with the Milwaukee Bucks for 4 years, which will consist of $108 million. Nobody thought that he would leave the Pacers. He's been a Pacer for more than a decade now, especially last season where they made it to their first NBA Finals since 2000. That has been the farthest they have gone into the playoffs by far. Not even the Reggie Miller Pacers made it to 7 games of the NBA Finals, which is amazing in itself. And sadly for the Pacers, next season is going to be a long haul for them. They're not going to be having the services of Tyrese Halliburton because of that torn Achilles. Like the Celtics, they're going to be using next season as a gap year as well. They're going to prioritize developing the ball handling abilities of Andrew Nembhard and give Ben Mathurin a bigger role. So the Pacers are in for the long haul. And with Miles Turner signing with Milwaukee, they waived Damian Lillard, who in return signed with the Portland Trailblazers. He's going back to Portland, the team that drafted him. He's also not going to be playing next season due to the torn Achilles as well. There has been a lot of torn Achilles in the NBA last season, which is amazing and not in a good way. Naz Reid and Julius Randle extended their contracts in Minnesota. They're staying, and it also means Nickeil Alexander is gone. He signed with the Hawks, and the Hawks have been having a very good offseason as well. They also got Luke Kennard, who's going to be another sharpshooter that can help out Trae Young. Because Trae Young is a great playmaker. And they're going to be needing a lot of sharpshooters to be taking advantage of those playmaking skills. I did mention about Chet Holmgren signing the long-term extension. His contract is a 5-year, $250 million. The 250 is not exactly guaranteed, as it is going to be depending on what awards he won. So there's that. The other ones I should mention are Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He's signing a 4-year, $285 million contract. And J-Dub, Jalen Williams, he's signing a 5-year, $287 million contract. The Thunder have their big three set for the future. And this is what a contending team should do, keep their core for long term. The next challenge for Sam Presti is maintaining the bench production, which has been equally as huge as the production that the Big Three have done in their championship run last season. That's going to be a lot of hurdle for Presti going forward. And in regards to return to their former teams, not only did Damian Lillard return to the Trailblazers, Chris Paul went back to the Clippers. He wants to play his final years of his career near home. That's where his home is, Los Angeles. He's reuniting with James Harden, and he's excited to play with Bradley Beal as well. Clippers have a lot of veteran presence, and it's going to be as much challenging as it is because as of late, you're going to be needing a lot of young legs, and young legs keep the energy and pace as high as possible. And now for the trades, I did mention some of the trades a while ago. Washington got GG McCollum. They traded for Jordan Poole and Saddiq Bey, both from the Wizards. They also traded with the Houston Rockets as well. They got Cam Whitmore in return. Oh, I also forgot to mention Kelly Olynyk got traded from New Orleans to Washington, who then got traded to the Spurs for Malachi Branham. So the Wizards have been very active on the trade block. And there's another trade for Cam Johnson, who has been in the trade block for most of last season. He got traded to the Nuggets for Michael Porter Jr. and a draft pick. Nuggets traded for Jonas Valanciunas from the Kings. They traded away Dario Saric as well. Jokic now has a true backup center. And with Bruce Brown returning to Denver, Nuggets are on the verge of a comeback tour. And with David Adelman staying, they're going to be a lot more deadly compared to last season. And the most important trade I'm going to be mentioning is the first ever 7-team trade. That was the trade that sent Kevin Durant to the Houston Rockets. That trade involved the Atlanta Hawks, the Brooklyn Nets, the Golden State Warriors, the LA Lakers, Minnesota Timberwolves, Phoenix Suns, and of course the Rockets. David Roddy's now on the Hawks. Clint Capella returned to Houston. The Warriors got draft rights to Jamai Mashak and Alex Tuhi, both second-round picks. The Lakers got a draft rights to Adu Thero, number 36, another second-round draft pick. Minnesota got a draft right to Rocco Zikarski, number 45. And the Phoenix Suns got Dylan Brooks, Jalen Green, and another set of second-round picks as well. I already mentioned the fact that Kaman Malak got drafted by the Suns. So those are some of the details. Alright, now I'm done discussing about the off-season. Now it's time for me to discuss about NBA 2K26. This will also be the last video for this myCareer series. This is the longest I've ever gone by far in any of them. Wasn't able to upload the playoffs last year in 2K24. 2K23, I wasn't able to finish that, as well as 22. 2K26, I'm going to definitely get it a lot later than I would normally get, because I want to wait for a sale this time. And I have other gameplay series that I want to do. Stay tuned for this gameplay series. It's going to come out sometime this week. Anyway, here are some of my thoughts on the gameplay trailer that just came out. I'm actually glad that the pure green window is back in the game. Last year, they changed it in favor of different shot meters. Some of the shot meters were very underwhelming. And it's not helped by the fact that you shoot a lot better when you don't have the shot meter. It gives you a slight shooting boost. And as far as I can remember, the shooting boost was said to be a lot smaller compared to last season. So this is very interesting to me. The rhythm shooting is still going to be in the game. That's not going to change. But there's going to be a lot of changes in this feature. It will be more enhanced. But we have to be playing the game just to see if there's going to be a difference. The go-to shots have been one of my favorite additions in 2K25, mainly because you can fake the defender out, acting as if it's another extra dribble package. And when you fake the defender out, you can go drive to the rim, go for a layup, sometimes draw a foul. It's not always going to be a guaranteed shot, so you can do a lot of things with the go-to shooting. The fact that they're adding it for the post-game is going to be very good for 2K26. Because let's face it, the post-game has been very stagnant in the past 2Ks. It doesn't feel like the developers have been implementing that aspect enough, considering that there are a lot of players in the 2K community who have center builds that want to be able to be lethal on the post, and then there have been a lot of complaints about the center builds not being properly utilized, all because of the post moves not being very effective. Now that the devs are adding go-to shooting for the post fadeaways and post hooks, it's going to be the return of the post game in 2K, as there's going to be a lot more variety now. Another feature that has been implemented by the devs is dip shooting, where your player is going to catch the ball and then immediately shoot it without any hesitation. No putting the ball back down just to prepare for the shot, and it will make it easier for you to shoot it right before the defender comes near, making it easily preventable from being blocked. And the other changes that I feel like I'm going to enjoy once I get to K26 is the ability to have different layup packages, from the normal layups, the reverse layups, to the floaters, and they even added the slower Eurostep layups, because not all of the Eurostep layups that you see in the game in real life are always at the same speed. Sometimes you slow it down. You even see some of the players do what you call a Pinoy step. It is what we Filipinos call it whenever we do a slow Euro step, just to fool the defender into thinking that we're going to take the layup right away. And they also added the animation where the ball handler can be able to initiate the jail dribble, where if the ball handler goes in front of their defender, they can seal the defender behind them just to prevent them from getting back into good position. It could be either a easy layup or a good read to a wide open teammate, because you know for sure the help defense will come when the defender, the one defending the ball handler, is way out of position. I actually like those changes because I've been trying to experiment the jail dribble back in past 2Ks. Sometimes it doesn't even work at all. Now that it's going to be implemented, it is going to be very good for the big point guards, like the archetype of Luka Doncic, because not all of the point guards are going to be extremely quick. They're sometimes going to be a bit slow-footed, but they can make up for it with their strength. All in all, I'm excited to see how the Pro Brief feature is going to be implemented in 2K26. It's been implemented starting from 24, and last year they were still in the prototype stage technically, just hoping that 2K26 can have it fully polished, because if it's in its fully polished stage, you're going to see the most realistic offline gaming experience ever in a 2K game. But sometimes there's going to be a lot of cheese animations that you're not going to like. A lot of people have been complaining about your teammates just being in the wrong position all the time. Sometimes your teammates are still low IQ. It's especially egregious in the higher difficulties, where your opponent is just putting like their Super Saiyan mode, and your teammates are playing like they have no idea how to touch a basketball. The problems that the 2K community have with 2K25 have been very rampant. A lot of people have been saying it's the worst 2K ever, and they compared it directly with the likes of 2K21 and 2K18. Like, those two other games have been considered the worst of them all. And it's not until the release of 2K25 where some of them have been looking back fondly at it. As while they may have not had a great experience with 2K18 or 2K21, some of them have been saying they have been enjoying those two games more than they did with 2K25. And this is where the devs have to take responsibility, and they have to make sure that they're going to be able to make 2K26 a much more playable experience, especially online. Sometimes the online gaming, it's just very weird. You have randoms that are just pulling out all the cheese moves, the zigzagging, and how they're able to get the green releases even when they're being heavily contested. I don't know if it has something to do with the online sliders, especially when you can't even change the sliders in online gameplay just to keep everything fair for everyone that is playing against each other. In my part, the Pro-Am, sometimes even my team. Nope, honestly, nobody even plays my team anymore as far as I can remember. Some of the big content creators that I've been watching, they quit my team because of the amount of microtransactions that 2K has been implementing. Really, the big problem that 2K has is in that area. The greediness, they're all about money. They need to put down the VC prices for attributes. Like, why does a build have to be that expensive? 200,000 plus VC just to max out a myPlayer build. It never used to cost that much. Even back in the 2K14 days, the 2K15, 16, 17. Like, why is it necessary for 2K to have us spend that amount of VC just to make your player a 99 overall? And that's not even including the amount of animations, even the amount of accessories that we can equip on our player. None of it makes sense to me. And these are my thoughts on 2K25, and hopefully in 2K26, hopefully 2K26 is going to be a lot better than 2K25. This is the last myCareer video for this game. For everybody who's tuned in to this series, thank you for staying, and I hope you all enjoyed it. Hopefully 2K26 will be a lot better. So, with 30 seconds, and look, another fail. I'm at 11, 10 seconds to go. I'm still at 2 stars. Oh, another fail. I'm at 12. Come on, 5 seconds. I am so lucky enough to get the 3rd star at the end of that workout. So, that was so much different.